Greetings everyone, this is Elizabeth. I hope you're having a splendid day. Today I am in my Learn With Me number 3 series, How I YouTube. This is episode 3, Editing on a PC. I do apologize, I do not own a Mac. I am not an Apple person. This particular program, VSDC, I do not believe it's available for the Mac either. But definitely do a search for free video editing software for the Mac or whatever your computer type is. You can just add that in your search bar and it should bring up similar programs that you can use. There are so many free ones out there. I recommend grabbing a free one that has fairly decent reviews. They don't have to be gob-stopping, fantastic reviews. Just grab a free one and then try it out. And then you'll be able to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to make a list of the things I want to do, but this doesn't do. And use YouTube and Google to search your questions. How do I do this? How do I add music over something? How do I insert an image over, whatever you need to do, Google it. 10 to 1, somebody's already done it. This one, I Googled several videos. Just kind of weird little questions I threw out there, things that I might want to do, and there were a lot of YouTubers that mentioned this program, so that's why I chose it. The link that I used will be down in my description. Unfortunately, my internet / laptop / browser says this is not a secure site. I didn't care. I downloaded it anyways. I didn't see any reviews saying the program crashed or people had hackers. I don't know. But if you want something safe, I think there's other places that download this particular thing. But this is what it looks like. And this particular one comes with a lot of other stuff in the free department. We are just talking about the video editor today. Okay? So I'm going to close my web browser. Now, when you download it, you save a little icon on your desktop so you can easily get to it. I put all my YouTube stuff in a folder on my desktop so I know where everything's at. And then when you open the program, this is what you get. This is your ad for not buying the full product. It's not a bad ad. It's got links to the internet for help in these departments. You've got your upgrade information there, and then voila, you close it. So it's not bad. I mean, that's the only hiccup I've seen for it being free is that little teeny ad. But we want to start a new project. We can do that in 2 different places. We can go up here to New Project, create a new project, okay, and then the window opens, or we can come here to Blank Project, in which we get the same little window. For this, all I do is I do title the project. Learn With Me number 3, and this is How to Edit on PC number 3. And the author, you can fill that in if you like. I only did it once. Every time I open this program now, it automatically is already there. It's really nice and convenient. I only do this part. The very first time I used it, I was, like I said, doing some Google searching, and one gentleman said that the frame rate right here, he says that most videos are done in a 29.970 FPS format. When I first opened it, mine was lower. It was like in the 1520 or something like that. It was really low. So I said, okay, well, if most videos are that, I will click that. And it seems to be working just fine. I don't mess with any of the width or the height. I don't mess with the frequency or channels. Opacity. Yeah, that word. I don't mess with that. I leave the video at full strength. And then we hit finish when all of our information is input. And this 29.9, once you change it, you don't have to change it again. It automatically loads what it was from the last time. So it's kind of nice. So here we are. Oops, let me adjust this a wee bit. Can I? I need to. Part of this is not in the screen, so I'm going to just shrink that down. There we go. All right. So this is what it looks like when you first open it up. So we're going to take a little tour. The editor tab. This is where you are 99% of the time. This is where all the lovely action happens. You have your add an object, which has different things you can add. You can add an image, audio, video, okay? Lots of little tidbits there. Video effects, audio effects. These things are not lit. I cannot choose them. I cannot do anything with them because we have nothing to play with. There's no video for us to edit. The this drop down menu, pretty much everything in there is right here in these little quick access buttons. So here's my little add an image, add the sound, and add the video. I use those three little buttons a lot. And then I also do the text button. Because heaven knows I say something wrong, I gotta edit some video. We gotta inform with some text. And then on the right side, this panel will grow and shrink as you add, but when you have a video clip and you're actually selecting it, information about that clip, image, music will show up here, okay? Back to the top. I am usually always in this. That other small percentage, I click on the edit so that I can undo or redo some boo-boos. There's also the cut, copy, and paste, delete, select all, alignment and stuff. I don't play around with those. I'm not that fancy with my editing. The scenes tab, load a scene, new scene. I don't play with these. I actually, until today, have not even touched these tabs. Here is your new project, your save. Saving will start automatically, and when that window pops up, we'll go through that. And then export. When we're exporting, we will be picking, for me, because everything's going to YouTube, I click web for YouTube and then export, which we will actually go through those steps at the end of this video. When it is exporting, this window pops open. It tells you the duration of everything that's going on. Time remaining. For me, a 1 hour video with all the bells and whistles takes about 3 hours to convert. That makes this button fabulous because you can shut down the PC, suspend it, or hibernate it after you've put it into the conversion mode, tell it okay, and in the morning you can upload it to YouTube, okay? And then we have some tools. Now these are the other features this program uses. Screen capture, there's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to go into those. I have my other Other programs I'll be showing you that I like a little bit more, mainly because I know them. And then there is the YouTube uploader. If you don't shut your computer down, you don't click any of these, if you don't pick any of these, when your video is done, there is a pop-up window that asks if you want to send it to YouTube. Unfortunately for me, mine doesn't work. I don't know what's wrong with the YouTube video uploader. I don't know if maybe it's a purchase thing. If I don't own it, I can't do that. I'm not sure. I'm not too worried about it either. It's just a couple of clicks to load it up to YouTube the old-fashioned way. So the activation button is where you can check for some updates. If you decide you like the program and want to delve deeper into editing, then you would use your activation, licensing, all that fun specialty stuff is there. Okay, but for us, we will be in this mode most of the time. So let's get started. Let's have some fun. Okay, so we are going to start our video. I'm going to go to my desktop because that's where I keep all my YouTube stuff. And in that folder, I have my intro. So I'm going to pop that in there. Every time you insert something, one of two boxes will show. This is, you've selected one item, this type of box shows up. From cursor position is usually always checked. This, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but down here, this little greenish tab with the red line, that's your cursor position, okay? And then you have other options that you can do, from scene begin to scene end, from manual position to manual position. There's a lot of stuff that you can play around with. And if it doesn't work, delete it, undo, redo. You just poke around in there. For the most part, the very first clip, I just say, okay, I do not make any changes. Oh, and this part is kind of important too, the add a new layer, okay? So we're going to say, okay, it's going to add the new layer. And here is our intro clip. I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit and then hit play. We can kind of see that. Now this is moving super fast, okay? And the reason it moves super fast is because this is a short clip. It's less than 10 seconds. And there's nothing else here. So you only need to, that much. But if you want to dig deep into there, this little bar right here, okay, set timeline scale. If we increase that, you see how my video just began to take up so much space? I mean, it's like way long now. That's because we're seeing the little minuscule particles between the seconds, okay? Here's 8.8 seconds, 9.0 seconds, 9.3. Well, I guess they're not even seconds. They're the after seconds. I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry. But this is really zoomed in. This is when you can do a lot of fine detail. Like if you need to add text or a song and it needs to begin right at a certain point, you can zoom in. Woohoo! Here it is. So when you do your project, if you don't do an initial save at the beginning, it'll automatically do it for you in about 5-6 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put it where I need it, and I'm going to go into my documents. I'm going to go to my Learn With Me series, How I YouTube. This is number 3, PC editing, and then Learn With Me 3. That's not spelled very well, but that's okay. I'm going to hit save, and now it's going to save. And in about 5-6 minutes, a little blurb will show up that's saying it's saved. It doesn't really interfere with anything, so it's kind of nice to have that. So if anything crashes, you know, you've only lost a few minutes of work, which, whew, that's a good thing. So we're going to zoom out of our timeline. We're going to make that much smaller again. Okay, so here is our intro. After our intro, which is going to be right about there, I'm going to move my timeline counter. Okay, and then I'm going to go to grab a video, which is the play button. Okay, you can grab it here, or like I said, you can go here, but the drop downs are no fun. I like this button. Just click the button. Okay, and now we're going to go to back to my documents. Come on, and then videos, because I know these have some videos in them. And I'm going to do one for now. So I'm going to select one video and I'm going to open it. And here we have the one, when you open one item, this particular box shows up. And it's highlighted at from cursor position, or I can choose to cursor position, but I'm not sure what that does, so I don't, can I uncheck that? Okay, well, we're going to say okay, because I don't know what I did. Nope. Obviously, I should not have clicked that, but that's okay, because, you know, it happens. So here we are. I don't know why that's so zoomed. You want to zoom this down just a little bit, but not too much, because if we zoom it too much, this is going to kind of disappear. So I'm going to click in this and drag it. And now my two pieces are connected. So even if you make a mistake on how to import it, you can definitely move it around. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the delete button, and I'm going to do it again. So I hit the play button, I click the video I want, I hit the open button, and this time it says from the cursor position, I want to do from to scene end. Maybe? Let's see what that does. Nope, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to delete it again. This is where the learn with me comes in. I'm going to drag this to there this time. Okay, we're going to add, we're going to click, we're going to open, and we're just not going to mess with anything and tell it okay. Haha, there we go. That's what I wanted. So super simple. We don't forget what we're doing. Now I can't see the end of this clip anymore. Again, we're zoomed in pretty tight. Now I'm going to zoom this out super small. And if you noticed, our intro kind of disappeared, but it's still there. It's just very minuscule. It doesn't take up a lot of space on the timeline. Okay, so here I'm going to move our cursor. You can click, you can grab, hey, you can grab and drag, okay? You can do all sorts of, you know, whatever you need to do. And then we're going to go grab the other videos. Now this is number 2 and this is number 3. In the beginning, if you know you have 3, you can select all 3. But I just wanted to show you what it looked like just uploading one versus what it's going to look like uploading multiple. So we've got our 2 videos that we need to add, and we're going to go ahead and open those. Okay, I'm not going to show you too much of these, mainly because I haven't played with them yet. They are transition. So between this video and this video, there's literally a cut. And these would, you know, make that transition interesting. But we're not going to use them today. We're just going to use these 2. Now, if you load up a whole bunch of videos all at once, you can adjust them in here. Maybe when you clicked and selected them all, it kind of threw them out of order. So you can click and drag it over so they can switch spots. Okay, I'm going to switch spots. Everything looks good. You've picked your stuff, which we'll do that in another video. We'll play around with these buttons, and then we'll hit the apply settings. And it takes it a moment, but here they are. Okay. And what did it do? It did something weird. Oh, no, it just, okay, because it added, I'm such a dork. It added it to a new layer. Sometimes I wonder about me. So here, this is our first video that we brought in, and it's right here next to our intro, and then we have our 2 new videos. 1 video, 2 videos, okay? I like them on the same timeline. It helps me find gaps when I go to cut stuff out. So I like to keep all my videos on the same timeline. Now, in my last video, I said if you record up to the point where you want to do a zoom through, stop the video, record the part you want to zoom through, stop the video, and then finish recording, it makes it easier to find the parts that you want to edit. That goes for the PC as well. So I've got 3 clips. I've got my first clip, I've got this clip, and then I've got this clip. Oops, we don't want to do that. Just leave you there. Now, I filmed this part. This part I want to zoom through, and this part I want left alone. So now we want to edit this little guy. So we're going to come over to the right hand side where the properties window is. Okay. This is where we get to have some fun. We're going to scroll down because more information has been packed into this. And most of the time the information we need is towards the bottom. Okay. Now if I go to the very last thing, it says audio track 1. If I click on it, there's a little drop down arrow. I'm going to click on that arrow and say don't use audio. Okay. This one segment is the only one highlighted. It is the only one affected. Okay. If I click on that one, shift, and click on that one, both of these are highlighted. Ooh, it doesn't give me any properties. Interesting. But I can highlight them. I wonder why. Okay. It was just something I was thinking maybe we could do. Nope. Got to work on them individually. Okay. Well, that's nice to know. And see, my Windows is empty and nothing is selected. Okay. So now if I click on this one, it's using audio from track 1. If I click on this one, it is using audio. And then this one, do not use audio, which is important because when you speed it up, it sounds like little raccoons on drugs. It's kind of funny. Okay, so we have our video that we want to speed up. Okay, we've turned off the audio because it's going to sound horrible. And then just a couple of steps up is speed percent, and then it's at 100. 100% is prime. That's exactly where everything needs to play at. You can slow it down. Okay, I'm going to slow it down to 50. Now, you notice it grew. Okay, when you slow something down, it's going to take up more room on the timeline. If we wanted it to slow down, we would have to readjust our placement of this particular one, okay? But what we want to do is we want to get out of that one. We want this one, and we want to speed it up. Now, 100% is normal, okay? 500 is super fast, okay? So we're going to put the cursor right there. I'm going to turn the volume down just a hair, and then we're going to hit play. So there I'm talking. Okay, and now it's zooming. It looks very choppy. Don't panic. Even if you laid music across the top of that, it's going to sound choppy in this program. It does not render 100%. The preview is not 100%. After you save and export your item, it will sound normal. And I don't know if you noticed that, but the program just saved. Very, very minimal, just a blurb. So I'm going to hit pause. Now this is what I want. I want that nice and sped up, and I'm going to butt that piece right back up to it. Okay. So now this is going to play right into that one, and it will be fabulous. But now this piece doesn't have any noise. There's nothing there. Okay. This is where a voiceover can come in. So say like you didn't say, I'm going to speed through this. At this point, you can go and do a recording to say, we are in high speed while I do this, you know, or whatever you need to do. You can do an audio, or you can do music. Either way, if you do an audio clip or a music clip, you would go to the add sound, okay? We click on the add sound, and of course these pop up because MP4s do have sound, but we don't want those. I'm going to go to my downloads because I know that's where I keep my bensound.com. bensound.com has free to use music. You just have to put arbitration in your description box on YouTube. I also put in a placeholder for their music on at the end of the video, which I'll show you. And these folders here are set up to mimic bensound. So if you were to open up bensound, you'd find a tab for cinematic, you'd find a tab for electronica, so they match up. And that's because I didn't download everything. I might go back and get the rest of the free stuff. I might go back and purchase. I don't know if they are like a rental or whatnot, but you can purchase even better songs. So that's kind of cool. But we're going to pick this one because I know it's like, if you hover over, let's see if I can't get it. There it goes. It'll tell you what it is. It's an MP3. It's a 1.47 megabytes in size, and the length is 1 minute 50 seconds. So it's a short little song, okay? And I'm going to tell it to open. And here we go again. We have from cursor position, which is great because I put my cursor right at the beginning, okay? But here's where that add a new layer comes in. If I say okay right now, it's going to insert it into the layer, and we don't want it in the middle, we want it over the top. Because if it's in the middle, it'll be a black hole while the music's going, and then it will run into the sped up video, which will still not have any sound. So we're going to add a new layer, okay? And there it is. it popped in right where our cursor was, right over our little short clip. So I'm going to highlight my clip, and it's kind of hard to see, but they're not completely lined up. Now here is another reason this little bar is very important. Set your timeline scale. I'm going to show you a couple things about that. Say you want to work in this area, okay? You were down here working away, okay? You want to work in this area and you want to zoom in. If you zoom in, your cursor is way down at the other end. It's not here. Okay, I'm going to show you a little something. Okay, the area you want to zoom in, I want to zoom in right here. Okay, so I put that cursor there. Now watch. As I'm zooming, it's staying where I put that cursor. Okay, it's kind of following that cursor. And then I can just scroll this little bar just a little bit, and I can really see that this music is not lined up. And it's got a snap feature. So I can slide it along here, but as soon as I get it close to this bar, it kind of does a snap and it will stay there. So that's really nice that you can zoom in. Say like you need to zoom in just a wee bit more just to make sure that you are lined up. And see, I'm a hair off. So I can scooch that right over. And now, if I get my timeline a little bit closer and I hit play, now I have music over the speedy ups. Now, I did mention before, it's going to sound crackly and weird. And let me tell you, the first video I edited like that, I was frustrated and irritated, and I'm like, spent hours working on it. I'm like, I'm just going to load it anyways. They can just skip through the weird parts. And then when I played it after it uploaded to YouTube, it doesn't sound like that. I was like, oh, thank heavens. It's not as bad as I thought. So don't panic if it doesn't sound right in this program. It's just because rendering is slower than after rendering, okay? So now we have a piece of music over our video. Now, speaking of over, okay, we have this layer over. We also have layers that can go under. With the music, it doesn't matter if you're up. Oops, can I right click to add a layer? I need that layer in there. Okay, it doesn't matter if your music is below or over the clip because it will play either way. A photo, however, or text will not show if it's under. Okay, I'm going to give a little example here. I'm going to grab the text. I got overzealous over this silly text box. I didn't explain why it didn't work. So I'm going to grab this image right here real quick. And I'm going to tell it, okay, and yeah, that's ginormous. So we're going to make that a smaller image. Okay, so here is the image under the play area. Okay, you can't see it. Here's the image at the end of the play area. Okay, so we can see it. Now I'm going to click on this with the right clicker. I'm going to add the layer and I'm going to put the image above. Okay, so it's just like sheets of paper. If you can't see through it, you can't see what's underneath. So if I drag this underneath, it's now invisible. Okay, I apologize. I'm going to go and you can finish watching the video. Bye-bye. Box. Texty box. Okay, I'm going to click the text box. Now the text box like everything else, it brings up this because it wants to know what's going on. We're going to go from the cursor position, okay, but we want to do to a manual position, okay. Oh, no, from. I think it's from. Okay, yeah, from manual position. Sorry. It's still really new to me. From manual position means that where your cursor's at is where it's going to go. So right here is your position. That's where my cursor's at. And if you look way down here at the bottom, position 13, 22, 3, 3, 4. That's where that's at. Okay. And then the duration, it's saying, oh, we're going to last 39 minutes, 17 seconds, and a whole lot of little bits. We don't want the text to last any amount of minutes. We're going to do zeros, okay? And then we only want it to last about 7 seconds, but we're going to adjust that later. I do about 17, 20 seconds, so it's easier to manipulate in the timeline down there. So I'm going to tell it okay. Oh, hovers me. Oh, okay. I thought, getting ahead of myself. So nothing happened. At first I thought, oh man, it threw it to the end of the video. But no, it's not anywhere. So nothing really happens when you hit OK. But if you notice, our cursor is now a cross. So I'm going to get it into the area I want to start. I'm going to click my left mouse button and hold it. And as I'm holding, I'm using my other hand to drag the bounding box. Okay. Then I let go. Once I let go, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a flashing cursor there. Okay. I'm going to type what I need to type. Hello, neighbor. Who knows? Okay, so you can see you can type a lot of information, a little bit of information, all sorts of stuff. Now, if I go up here to text color and change it, nothing happens. Okay, because the cursor isn't highlighting anything, it thinks that you want the text color to show up now. So you can see that it's blue. So if I change it to this, there it goes. Okay. So we want to make sure, I'm going to select what, and selecting is clicking with the left mouse clicker and dragging with the other hand. I'm going to hit the backspace. And I see a couple more letters there. I'm going to delete them. I'm going to highlight these and pick my color. Okay, so now when I clicked out, okay, there's my color. I'm going to click on it again. You can double tap to get back in there to do more typing, or you can do this. If you click out and then click in, it says you want to deal with everything in the box. So then you can change your color that way. Okay. That's, for me, a more simplistic way of doing that. So I'm going to pick that orange because it seemed to pop a little bit. Now with the bounding box selected, I'm going to go over here and change my font. We're going to do something big that we can see. Okay. And then we need to change the size of it. So we're going straight across the board and we're going to pick something big. Okay, there we go. That's more visible. Now you can drag this all over your screen. Okay, but here's the thing. If I drop that right there, when the video saves and this part of the video shows up, all we're going to see is the part of the E, the I, the G, H, B, O, R. Okay, anything outside of this bounding box will not make it into the video. So be sure your bounding box is where you need it to be. So we're going to throw it up there. Now you have, there's a lot of options. So definitely play around when you get to your texting. I'm going to show you just a couple. If we do the brush color, you can kind of see where the B is in a box. I'll show you what that is. That is, what color do we want that? We want that purple. Okay, so when I log out, it gave a color for that. Okay, if you come to the right hand side again, there's more stuff. Okay, so the brush color is basically a highlighter for the word, right? There's also a background. If I click on the background, a drop-down menu opens or shows, so you can open that, and I tell it yes. Now you see it popped in a black bar. This black bar, you can edit the colors by clicking on the area, and you can manually type in the color, the hexadecimal color if you know it. Or you can click the 3 teeny dots right there, and this will pop up, and then you can select a color, you tell it yes, and then you have that. And you're like, well, that looks weird. Yes, it is. If we go back to the top, kind of straight up from that part, there's the paragraphy stuff. Right now, we are left align. Next door is center. See how that? But now we have more space at the bottom. We go back down, and then we have set to optimal object size, which makes that go away. Fit to width. I made it go away too much. So I'm going to go to edit, undo, undo again, and there we go. Okay, so now if I do that, look at where I'm at. Okay, what if we did this, and then we did this? Okay, these are alignment things. All right, well, that's nice. Look at that. You can, sorry, I'm learning with you. So we don't want that. We want optimal object size. Okay, so that kind of defeats the purpose of that. I was hoping, edit, undo one time, editor. I was hoping we could put a border across the top and then have it like double, fit to width. Nope. Fit to size. Fit to length. Interesting. Okay, I don't know what I did, but look. Haha! So if you play around, you can make it work. So there's that. That's adding some text. Now, the same with anything else. If you put it in and you're like, oh, I didn't need it there. I need it after something. Okay, I need it to go after this clip. So when we get done with this, we zoom into this. Okay, and then we're noticing, oh, wait. This is not the same as the music. Well, you have options. You can get a longer piece of music, okay? Because if we click on this, or not click, I do apologize. If you hover, it gives you a lot of information, okay? One of the bits of information is the duration is 11 minutes? No, that's not right. Pardon me, let me scooch up this way. I have this clicked. Duration is 2 minutes. Okay. On this side, whatever you have clicked, the object drawing duration is how long the object plays for. So this music piece plays for 1 minute 50 seconds, whereas this plays for 2 minutes 15 seconds. So we can go back to our library and find something bigger, or we can click it and we'll add another 50 to that 550, and then we will click the downer button. Not the downer, no, the upper. We want to go up. Okay, so 50, how about 575, 600, and it's just fiddling. Ooh, look at that. And now we have that more lined up, okay? But then we have this sticking out, so we want to click and drag. Oh no, we left our text behind. Ah, we didn't want to do that because the text was so perfect. We just go to Edit, Undo. Now we click outside and drag. So I'm holding my left mouse button to click everything and drag it. Now both are highlighted, both will move together, okay? And then you can bring your cursor over and double check to make sure everything plays the way you want it to play. So there's the end of the zooming, and then we go into the high neighbor, and I just noticed that no, this is actually too far. So I can back up by seconds. This little set of buttons here by the time clock backs you up by the second. Okay, so I'm going to go forward, and there it is. That's where I need that. So if I zoom in just a little bit more, okay, this is where the snap feature comes in handy. I'm going to click, oops, let's do undo. Okay, I'm going to out click because I still had both of them selected. I'm going to click the text, and it snapped right to that line. So now, as soon as I come out of this, it's going to go into those with a better seamless transition. Okay, pretty cool, right? All right, so what have we done? We have inserted videos. Let me zoom this out. Okay, we learned that we can zoom in on our timeline to really fiddle with stuff. Now see how we zoomed way out? And look, there's our little text, that little green snippet. There's our music. Over here, even though we don't see it, is our intro. It's that little teeny black speck. Okay. We added text and music, our intro, which plays right into this, and I will be doing a video on the program I use to make my intro. Super easy, and it's free. Granted, you only get one style, but if you like it, then you might upgrade afterwards. But we did the little snippet, but that little snippet was already there because we uploaded 3 and we put some music over it, and then we add an image over that. But say you were watching your video and you're like, OMG, that is just rubbish. I need to get that out of there, okay? There's so many things you can do. We're going to go back into editor mode, okay? And these little tools right here, this one, the split into parts, is what I use the most. You can also use this cutting and splitting window. I don't quite understand it. It's a little weird. I'm not even going to click on it. But if you want to play around and become a, an editing guru, be my guest. We're going to focus on this little razor blade, the split into parts, okay? It only works if you have something selected, okay? So I'm going to come down here and we're going to zoom. Let's see. So let us find something to cut out. So that's me putting it away. Maybe we don't want to see that. Maybe we don't want to see me putting it away. So let's back it up a little. We hit play. That's really fun technique. I really enjoy inking up my stuff. So I just went quiet right there. So I quickly hit the pause button. Okay. I'm going to back up 1 second. And then I'm going to put a clipper in there. Okay. Now what that clipper does, you can't really tell because everything, the original clip is still highlighted. But if we click out and then we click again, only a smaller section is highlighted. We have now 2 sections. Okay. So there's this piece. Now we're going to hit play. And I'm like, okay, I'm talking about this piece and I really don't care. That's not important. So I'm going to drag this over a little bit. Okay, I didn't like me doing that either. Nobody needs to see that. Okay, ooh, that looks like a good part right there. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to go back 2 seconds or 3. And I'm going to try and clip it right there. I'm going to hit the clip button. Okay. Now when I come out, click out, I'm going to find that little centerpiece. And there's 2 little red dots right there. That shows where my clips were made. So now I can drag it down. I can close the gap. I'm going to mute this little button because I don't know if there's any audio. So remember, I'm going to come over here to the properties window. I'm going to go all the way down. No, thank you. All the way down to the track 1. Don't use audio. Okay. And now I'm going to go to the cut line where I butted these 2 up. And I'm going to get fairly close. Okay, zoom in a little. Okay, and I'm going to hit play. Okay, and then we're doing that. We're checking, making sure everything's looking good. And that was kind of a weird transition, so I don't really like it. So I'm going to do edit, undo, undo, and undo. Because remember, nope, keep undoing, undo, and one more undo. And now put that clip back together. So I'm going to come over here and see where I messed up. Okay. And then actually my problem is probably I can't see it very well. So I'm going to zoom my timeline again. And remember, my cursor's where I want to work, so it zooms really nice. So I'm going to go back up here, and I can see in this timeline my hands are kind of there doing nothing. So maybe that's where I needed to be. I'm going to hit play again. There it is. That's where I was. So now I'm going to clip it. Oh, I got to go back into editor, find my razor blade and do a little cut. Okay. Now both sections are highlighted, so I just want to snag the one. So I'm going to click it, drag it down, mute it, and then I'm going to butt my 2 little pieces up. I'm going to come right over here. I'm going to hit play. And there it was, a better transition between. Now, in another video, I will show how we can add a transition. I've only done it once. It is something that might improve my videos. So I'm going to look into the easy aspects of it and share what my findings with you in a later video. But for now, we just do a cut. We found out, okay, that's fabulous. I like it like that. I'm going to delete that little bit. I don't need it anymore. Okay, now we're going to zoom back out. And we have successfully cut a piece out of the project. Adding is the same thing. You would find where you want to add the piece. Okay, you click on the segment you want to work on. Okay, come over here, you do your cut, you scooch, out click, scooch, and then when you find the clip that you want to add, make room for it. Nope, still not enough room. Scoot over more. Okay, and then you add your new clip. And by adding, I mean if you went up here to video and you literally added a new clip, okay? So definitely know that you could do that. Okay. All right. So let me put this back together. So if we have a big area that we need to move, we're going to click on the outside, hold our mouse button down, drag across everybody, and then we can easily move the whole bunch at once. Okay. So that's super nice. And we're going to zoom back out. We're going to look to make sure there's no gaps between anybody. And we're almost ready to convert it. What I like to do at the end of my videos, okay, I'm going to put that right there at the end. I like to add an image. I have my YouTube folder here, desktop YouTube, my thumbnails. Ooh. So this is a Learn With Me series, and I need my bin sound acknowledgement, and I need my subscribe to my channel. Okay, so I'm going to select them both. I'm going to open them. I get this window because I've got more than one, right? So I'm going to make sure they're in the proper order. I like the bin sound acknowledgement first, and then the subscribing, so that works for me. I'm going to hit apply. And you're like, where did they go? Well, they're teeny. They're teeny weeny. If I back this up a little bit, there they are. Those little purple bits. So I'm going to put my cursor right next to them so that when I zoom in, I can actually work with them. I like to put everything in the same line, aside from my text and my music, okay? I do believe there is a way to put a photo over the top of, well, you can't. If you put this over the top, okay, you're going to see whatever photo you inserted there. And I'm sure there's editing that you can do to make it smaller and all that stuff. But I'm not looking at that today. We're just going to do this. I might do like a full feature on how to manipulate photos or something. If that's something that interests you, drop a comment down below and let me know if I get enough or even one. I don't care. I'll probably make a video anyways. But here we are. Just like the timeline, just like text or videos or music, images also have a duration, how long they stay on the screen. These popped in at 5 seconds. If I'd have thought about it, okay, so here's this one at 5 seconds. I like to keep mine, okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 7, 1, 2, 3. 7 seconds, okay? And then I'm going to delete this one because I think I'm going to highlight this one. I'm going to put my cursor at the end of it because that's where I want my next one. I'm going to go get another image. We're going to get that one. We're going to open it up. And yeah, from manual position. And then we're going to do 0.7 seconds, right? Yay! So you can manipulate it before you even put it into the timeline. So that could save you a step. Always learning something new. That's the first time I've done that. So there we have it. We have successfully, oh, I do this a lot. Don't panic. Your stuff's not gone. I accidentally click in this area, or sometimes if you double click on something, it pops into this view. And these are two tabs, Scene 0 and Video Whatevers, okay? Scene 0 is where you want to be. When you're doing transitions and things, when I was playing around with them, they pop into that secondary window. They pop into this one. So don't panic if everything disappears. Just make sure you're on Scene 0, okay? So here it is. We have our intro. We have our first part of the video. We have our zoomed in with some music, and we have a text. We chopped out a chunk and readjusted the parts there, and then we added two images to the end. So everything's done. Everything looks good. I do like to hit play one last time just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Remember, do not panic if it sounds choppy or weird on a fast forward part. That will fix itself in the end. Your tabs of most use are the editor and edit. Edit for undo. We did play around a little bit with alignment with our text with these, okay? Editor, we do our chopping, adding a little splicer with that little button. Add an image, add some music, add the play or another video, okay? Now everything looks good. Let's export the project. For me, and this is another nice thing. It stays. The last time I did web for YouTube, I don't have to change it. If you're making videos just for Android gaming or iPhone, iPad, DVDs, that's where those ones come in handy. I'm doing mine for the web, for YouTube. And I like this. I think I might start doing mini videos for Instagram. We'll see. I don't know. But we're going to click for YouTube, and then we're going to scroll all the way to the end over here to export project. Okay. This is your second ad. It's no biggie. You just tell it continue. In the premium, they have hardware acceleration, which says basically that 3 hours it takes me to convert 1 hour of footage would speed up if I bought the upgraded version. But like I said, that doesn't bother me. I'm just going to hit continue. Maybe. Okay. Now here it is. It's like slow, glitchy weirdness going on here. Don't worry about that. This bar will start filling up, as will this one. And then in a little bit, remaining will fill in. It takes it a little bit to say, okay, well, this video is this long, whatever. It's going to take this much time to edit. Not edit, sorry. To, what is it? Render. To render it for the web. Okay? So it's telling me it's going to take 2 hours and 12 minutes. I can wait and do other stuff. This is one reason I'm keeping the editing software on my cell phone and was not sad when I spent the $5 on Video Maker, because while this is doing its business, I can go make another video, a short one that doesn't need a lot of editing, and still upload it onto YouTube. If you don't want to wait around, don't get ahead of yourself. If you wait around for it to do its business, there will be a window when it is done asking if you want to upload it to YouTube. Unfortunately for me, that doesn't work. I don't know if it's a paid program only, or if YouTube says you're too new, you can't upload through weird programs. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. So I don't need to wait around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down the PC when done. This little window opens up because you have options. You can literally shut it down, suspend it, or hibernate. Okay? And you tell it, okay. So in 3 hours, see that bumped back up again, which is about right because I think there was an hour's worth of footage that we were playing with. This will all, my whole laptop will shut down, and in the morning I can just turn it on and get to busy uploading it to YouTube. Now, if you're doing this and you're like, oh no, I forgot something, you can stop the conversion, okay? And then you go back and you can do some more editing, okay? So don't panic. Hopefully you won't remember something at the end of the conversion. So again, we're going to export the project. We're just going to close that. No, not close that. Continue. And then we're going to shut down the PC or not. That's up to you. And we're going to tell it okay. Okay. And then you can minimize it while it's doing its business. And you can work on other things. I don't, because that's a lot of work that app is taking up. So it is what it is. Next time I will be working in Audacity and we will show how I do a voiceover. Now VSDC does have a recording feature, but I found I couldn't use their recording, voice recording, while watching the editing video to talk over it. So yeah, I'm going to stick with Audacity. It's super easy. It's super fun. And hopefully you'll like that too. There will be links in the description for Audacity. If you're wondering, FreeCam is what I am using right now to record this screen. All the screen editing. VSDC also has a screen recorder, but I don't like that it doesn't have a pause bar. You type a key to pause it, so you don't know if you've unpaused it or accidentally double paused it. It's not as easy as the FreeCam 8, and that actually seems to be working really good for me. So I will have a link for FreeCam 8, Audacity, and anything else that I've mentioned or am using. So definitely check the description below. If you have any questions about this video or my previous videos, please drop a comment and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you like this video and want to see more, definitely leave me a comment or a thumbs up. That way there I can get you more content. I do appreciate you greatly for sticking around so long, and apologize that it's an hour and some, but we're learning together and I was having fun. I hope you was having fun. We will talk with you next time, and have a great day and do some crafty stuff, or I don't know, what do we call geeky stuff? We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.